Okay, welcome in everybody. We are going to be covering the second game of the Wargroove Open Finals from 2024. And this is the first qualifier for the main event. Both these players have already made it through, but this is them playing for seeding 1 and seeding 2. And we're going to see how this goes. So we got Koji being played by Derrick, aka RPG Master. Zawan being played by Saykoya. Saykoya's already up a game. So, you know, they're already looking pretty good here. And seeing a very slight variance in this opening. Saykoya going for this wide position on... It doesn't really matter too much. Because yeah, Koji's just going to be able to run up, knock this village down. And I guess for people who are unfamiliar, this game was covered live by Sneaky Dragon. I think there is a full version of this match, which is going to be, of course, not just a replay. So if you wanted to watch like a more in-depth analysis while this is all going on, then yep, you can absolutely go find that on Sneaky Dragon's YouTube. But yeah, we're just covering the replay just so people can watch it on the Groove of War channel as well. And yeah, I'm not seeing too much difference. I guess the big difference here is that this village is still available. But yeah, both commanders being aggressive on their sides. Not seeing anything as far as like shenanigans. And ooh, that's a very deep commander. So yeah, Saykoya now actually falling quite a bit behind on this economy pressure. Let's see Zawan do their thing, and ooh, RP spot a free hit on commander. Pretty good. Not gonna see anything like a surround, but just some pressure to push back Koji, and yeah, Koji's not gonna be able to deal with these swords just yet. Ooh, wow. Taking some damage on the sword, but makes sense. Gonna be able to finish that off with the mage. And now Derrick forming their defensive front. Harpy in here. A bunch of swords, a couple knights. Oh, the Harpy finds a free hit on the lumber mill? That's pretty big. It's going to slow Derrick's kind of burst economy down. Although the trees did get chopped, so... isn't the end of the world, but yeah, it's a little bit annoying to lose a lumber mill like that. Because lumber mill cuts are when you really get your big buys in. So like golems and dragons tend to come out. Okay. Some pressure for this knight. Not gonna go for a crit or anything like that, but we'll be able to put some work in. And ooh, we're going to see mage get repositioned. Just kind of fend off this harpy. Ooh, that sword lives, and it's probably going to go for the capture on that village, just to be very frustrating. Okay, here we see Zawan doing their thing. Putting pressure on this village. There's enough units around here that Zawan is safe. And funnily, being next to that forest actually makes Zawan more safe because there's less chance of... less opportunities for units to suicide, I should say. Okay, Koji pushing up on that side. Wonder what they're doing on Groove. Zawan, of course, already has tier 1. Koji on 85%. Okay. Oh, we're going to see a tier 1 come out here. This wants a bunch of early pressure. Ooh, that's nice. Follows up with a sword crit. Gets a crit on that knight, which is safe because of all those vines. I think potentially the vines could go down, but you'd have to put so much into attacking them that then the rest of your army becomes vulnerable. So, yeah, just suicides the knight. Makes sense. You don't want to give your opponent an opportunity to get groove. And it damages that village a bit. And yeah, we see another one over here. Derrick losing 2 units. That's not where you want to be. And there's a huge force of vines up in front here now. And Saykoya is just gonna push all of this back. Ooh, nice crit there. Is in range to get crit by the archer in return though, so it'll be a little bit rough, but more army coming around over here to try and support this, so the archer just kind of sits there. It might take a lot of damage, and wow, that's a lot of army getting switched over. And these vines just make it really difficult to recapture on the right hand side, so the army can just shift if it needs to. Alright. Right, just gonna eat an archer crit. Koji coming forwards. Close to the capture. Very close to seeing Koji with group, and there's no capture on this hideout. I like the golem as well, actually. There's nothing really here that can really deal with the golem. I guess Harpy could chip at it over time, but that isn't really effective. Night crit can come in as well. Like Commander can do some work, but yeah, I think Saykoya is just in a good position overall. But the map is very evenly split, even after all of this. This has been a really nice push from Zawan, but Derrick had a bit of a stronger early game as far as pushes go, so we're seeing it kind of start to come into like a bit of a stalemate situation. And I have heard from some players that this map does tend to stall. And I think I can beginning to see why that's happening now. Although it will eventually get broken, it's just going to be a very slow turning of the map over time. Like, you're going to see a strong front form against a weak front, and it's going to push, and then the other person's going to push on the other side. But we're seeing golems come out. These lumber mills are going to give bursts of money, which will allow for purchases of big units. Ooh, knocking down this village again. Seems very okay pushing into archer crit. I guess this time there's a lot more stuff to back it up. But yeah, it's an interesting one. Yeah, these vines probably going to go down. Maybe next turn, maybe the turn after. We'll see. And oh, Knight's gonna come in, and yeah, here comes the counter pressure. And actually decides not to go for a crit. Just gonna leave it there. And Koji now has bombs. Ooh, good hit on the balloon. That's a good gold exchange, but I think unit count is the thing that matters more in this situation. We'll see, especially with double Harpy. But I guess there's a lot of mages out on the field already, so maybe sacking one for one unit is okay. And ooh, Saykoya is gonna go in. Big crit on the wagon? Is there gonna be... I was thinking maybe an attempt to get another groove out, but that is not gonna happen anytime soon. And yeah, we're just seeing more units getting shifted over. And yeah, what happens on this side of the map? Zawan just kind of stays defensive. Gonna use these vines for one last turn. Recognizes nothing can really threaten from this mountain, so pulls the vine off of it, which makes sense. Okay, it goes down. And yeah, just small skirmishes on both sides. Nothing really resembling a huge push just yet, but we could see Saykoya dedicate more to this front. It's all about who's going to open up an opportunity. Is this it? Is this going to be the opportunity Zawan needs to push forwards? Okay, nice spear crit. Oh, picks up a kill on the archer. That's really good. Going to see another knight go down. And yeah, Saykoya is really dedicating to this one. I don't know if they needed the first hit from the sword there, but it builds groove, so it's not the end of the world. Okay, nice little dink there. Second one coming in. Ooh, that's a crit, but oh, Mage Shield follows up actually, so it's not so bad. Really difficult to judge when you should be throwing in the golem hit first, or you know, other units, but I guess this sword got to live because of that, so... Like, you don't want to get a sword crit, like, in return for hitting something. Especially like a golem, like that would be brutal.
Let's hope this works.
Okay, so what are these? These are regular tier 1 sparrow bombs. Okay, first one goes boom, second one goes boom. And plan here taking out the golem? Probably. Sword crit comes in. Mage heal. Ooh. I don't know if that was better or worse actually. I think you probably wanted to hit with your golem first. And then go for the mage heal, but... I mean, this is on a timer. It's hard to think about these things in the moment, but... Yep, there goes that golem. Archer crits are going to do their work. It's like, yeah, just going to keep pushing forwards. Doing really well at this point. Oh, both sides into the mage. Is that going to open up a kill? Possibly? Yes, Spear Crit's going to finish off, so... And now we're seeing more and more damage come in. And Koji is actually effectively cut off here. A very scary surround to be in. And meanwhile, I think Zawan is building up to a tier 2. Yep, tier 2 is available now, so we could potentially see this being 2-turn lethal or 3-turn lethal, depending. Okay, and now comes the can I break my opponent's formation? Or, I mean, can you just do a lot of damage is another question. Because if Koji is able to just kill everything around him, then suddenly this becomes a lot less threatening. Okay, damage coming in. Goes for the capture. Yeah, that makes sense. It lowers a lot of mobility in that area. Now Saykoya gets a turn of tier 2, and you could just throw all the vines over on this side of the map. Do lots of damage. I think there was like a very unsuccessful attempt to try and attack over here though. Ooh, actually decides not to burn the tier 2. When that could have been used in a few different ways. Like he could have used it to break one of the fronts. Could use it to support over here. There's like a lot of good targets for the tier 2. Like you throw all the vines around this golem, does a ton of damage to it. And you can use tier 2 from a safe distance as well, so... But it's worth noting, both players are playing incredibly quick right now. Turn 16, still like 26 minutes left on the clock for Derrick at the end here. So, the game has stalled like a decent chunk, but Saykoya can still push and eventually end the game. Ooh, actually gonna go very defensive here. I guess recognizes that they didn't win on this front up on the top left. And is there setting up to push a little bit on the bottom right. But this is really scary actually for both players. Because Saykoya, I think that fight went a lot worse for them than they'd hoped. And now they're having to deal with like, can they defend on this side? Which I think they can, but now comes the Derrick trying to find like a good opening. 69%, nice. Yeah, just pushes over on this right hand side because there's an opening. Big blob of units up on the top left. Lots of archers coming out again as well. Oh, good hit there for the dog. And I wonder, oh, is this going to be a big aggressive turn? Oh, but there's no tier 2 groove. Okay, knight goes down. Saykoya actually just going to leave this village open for the moment. I really don't know how I feel about this. I think there's just been so many opportunities to throw a tier 2 down and start building up to the next groove. Because while all this is going on, Koji's building up another tier 1. And the first tier 1 felt very forced, so... Now there's pressure on Koji to build another tier 1 again. But the tier 1 actually got some decent value, and now I think Derrick is doing really well as far as army value goes. Oh, but this could be an opening here to put a lot of pressure onto the stronghold. No tier 2 just yet. Just gonna see a whole bunch of units moving forwards. And oh, I guess there is like some night pressure onto the stronghold, but as long as there's one unit in front, it's fine. And now it's just very aggressive posturing here from Saykoya. Okay, good Harpy crit. Not the best trade in the world, but... Okay, and now Derrick's like, oh, I actually do need to push into this army. It's pretty spooky. Oh, and just very little was in range of this golem. Having to burn 2 mages? Oh, that's not what you want to have happen. And, oh, there could have been a groove. Like, if you just yeet this knight into, like, the village, I think it might build groove. But yeah, Derrick's like, oh wait, I actually need to defend. Had to spend a bunch of weak units to just injure a golem. There are a second golem backing this up as well, and all these weak units are going to start getting hit. Yeah, lots and lots of stuff going down. And this is a lot of potential groove that's getting wasted, but also it's just a lot of stuff dying. So I think Saykoya is okay with that. Yep, here comes tier 2. Nice defensive line. Picks off a unit. We're going to see archers behind this as well. And yeah, all of a sudden this is looking very bad for Derrick. And Saykoya also winning the Harpy fight on the right hand side. Okay, and what can Derrick do here? Okay, good use of the air trooper mobility. Going to see if I go down. Oh, but the golem had to be used to take the vine down. That's really brutal. Okay, dog does very little there. Knight goes down. Oh, all these vines are going to shift and do damage next turn as well. Okay, big mage heal. Oh, that's so much damage to take. Okay, but does knock the village down. And these units weren't really doing much anyway, so I mean they could have potentially gone over to the left hand side, but... Oh, Harpy gets chased down and killed, and the mage actually, because it repositioned, isn't able to cover that tile. Okay, Saykoya gonna come in, start clearing. Ooh, losing a light like that is not a pleasant feeling. Vine comes in, does some damage as well, so that's blockers getting injured. Ooh, golem goes down. And yeah, Zawan's just going to do so much work here. Pick up so many unit kills. And able to just safely pick up kills in the back here as well. Alright. Just lots of stuff getting cleared and so many vines on the front line still. They're really tanky. And I think Saykoya's got this one. Just able to put on a lot of pressure. He was able to keep up on economy as well. Derrick was doing a good job slamming these villages, but... No, this push, and yeah, Saykoya really saved up well with that tier 2. Oh wow, that was so one-sided at the end. I think they didn't take a good fight up on the top left. I think Derrick came out on top over there, but... That last push was so devastating. Able to put in so much work, so... Well played there by Saykoya. They take it, they go first in this open qualifier, so that means they're going to be the #1 seed for the championships. And they get to take a little bit of a break because it is currently the 15th of April. We've got the 3rd open qualifier starting relatively soon. And the main event starts in July, so they got a couple more months of being able to just do a bit of training as they need to, being able to watch the other people play their qualifiers as well. Hopefully we can get Saykoya on commentary sometime soon as well. I really enjoy doing commentary with Saykoya, so we'll hopefully be able to see some of that as well. But for now, Yeah, congratulations, Saykoya takes it. Thank you everybody for watching the second game of the set. Sorry it took so long to get out. It's just been a lot going on in April for me personally. I just haven't been able to stream, so yeah. And we will be back with more Open Qualifier 2, because that is now going into the round of 4 at the moment actually, so we will be seeing who is qualifying from that. Anyway, on to the next game.